Hello everyone, it's Eliza McNamara here to talk to you today about the importance of focus. See, something which I've realised fairly recently is that when you focus on something and you don't get distracted by other things that come along and you exclusively focus on one thing, it's so much easier to produce results because you're not trying to do too many different things at once. You're not trying to produce results in different areas. You're just focused on one thing, and then you get more practice and you get more momentum and you get more results, and then you produce the result that you want. And the biggest issue, I reckon, for most people is this thing called bright shiny object syndrome. And bright shiny object syndrome is basically like, oh, there's a magic pill out there somewhere. There's like this magic thing that's just going to make everything happen exactly the way I want it to. And if I just find this magic pill, if I just locate this magic pill, then everything's going to be all right and everything's going to be okay. And most people, when they find something new, they're like, oh, wow, this is the thing, this is the thing, this is it, this is it, this is the magic pill. And then when it doesn't produce the result they want in the time frame that they thought it would, then it's like, oh, no, that's not the magic pill, there must be another magic pill. And then they carry on looking for this elusive magic pill that's apparently out there somewhere. And there is no magic pill. The magic pill is focusing on one thing until you produce a result with that one thing. And once you focus and you produce the result that you want, that you've been after, then you finally get to focus on something else that you've been dreaming about, whether it happens to be flying a spaceship or opening up a sweet shop on the corner, whatever it is, regardless, it's not important. What's important is that you focus on the thing that you want to produce results with right now. And it's sometimes easier to be excited about something that you're not currently focusing on, because if you're not focusing on something and you're not doing something, then you can make up all these fairy tale ideas in your head of what it would be like to do that thing. And the marketing plays up to that fairy tale image. Like for instance, the marketing of what it takes to succeed trading the stock market, or the marketing of what it takes to succeed online, or the marketing of what it takes to succeed with a franchise. All of that marketing is like making you think that it's going to be a fairy tale experience when you try to create this result with this thing. And yeah, it's great, it's fantastic, it's fun, it's an experience, it's wonderful. But if you think back over your life, over all of the things that you've produced a result with, that you've seen through to completion, you'll realise that there were challenges, that it wasn't all smooth all the way. And that's beautiful, because if life wasn't like that, it would be so boring. And being aware of this process that goes on inside our minds enables us to focus on one thing and produce a result with it. And there's this thing that Malcolm Gladwell talks about in his book. It's called the 10,000 hour rule. And basically the 10,000 hour rule is it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at anything. And that is 4 hours a day of practice for 10 years. So you might think, oh gosh, 4 hours a day for 10 years, that's ridiculous. But then if you break that down, if you put in 8 hours a day, then it becomes 5 years. If you put in 16 hours a day, it becomes 2.5 years, which is really not that long. Really. And see, what the success stories in the industry, the seminar industry and the online industry and the all of these industries where people are marketing ways to make money, the thing that most people are not pointing out is it takes work. And it's real work. It's not like sitting on the beach, sipping a pina colada and watching the sunset. It's real work. It takes work. And obviously, once you produce a result, the work is not as intense and the work is nowhere near as hard as it was in the beginning. But there is work involved. There is real work involved. And only once you do the work will you actually start to see the result that you're after, whatever it happens to be. And the more somebody tries to make something look like a magic pill that's going to magically vanish all of your problems away and just going to be like having your own ATM machine in your bedroom, the more they try to propagate that, the more they try to make you think that, the more they try to put that image out there of this is just a magic money machine, the more you know that there's going to be work involved. It's not a scam, there is real work involved, but it will produce the result that you're after if you stick with the system, if you follow what the company is trying to teach you to do. And it's really sad because you see a lot of people who give up on their dreams. You know, they'll go to one seminar, or they'll like try one network marketing company online, or they'll try affiliate marketing for 2 days, or online surveys, or whatever it happens to be for a couple of days, and then they give up. And they go, oh, it's a scam. And then they go around telling other people that the entire industry is a scam. And I think that's so sad, because so many people could be achieving so much and they didn't realise it, because most people do not have the characteristic of perseverance. That's all it is. It's just being persevering with whatever it is that you're trying to do. And if you are patient and you do persevere and you focus on one thing, the rewards are truly amazing. It's absolutely incredible what you can achieve when you actually focus on one thing for a period of time. It's truly astounding. It just blows you away, because you achieve things that you thought you couldn't achieve. You achieve things that you never even expected to achieve. And it all starts with focus. That's all it starts with, you know. And there's this thing, I used to work with this company called Life and Balance Seminars, so this is from them, all the credit goes to them for this model. But basically, there's this thing called the failure cycle. So it starts off with being really, really, really excited. So you get all excited about something new, right? And it's like, whatever it happens to be, it's exciting and it's new, and you're all passionate in the beginning to produce this result with this thing, right? But then, most people, once they get excited, they start to make excuses. Well, before the excuses comes avoidance behaviour. Right? So avoidance behaviour might be like, oh, I wanted to go for a run this morning, but I'll just have some coffee first. Or I want to get some work done, but I'll just go for a run first. That could also be avoidance behaviour. You know, and then after avoidance behaviour comes excuses, and the excuses basically the person giving up responsibility and just pushing responsibility out to somewhere, anywhere, as long as it's not on them. And then you've got blame at the end of that. And blame is, oh, you know, it's because of this company, or it's because of this person that I couldn't achieve my dream, or it's because of my upbringing, or it's because I'm too lazy and I can't focus. You know, they'll blame something which they feel they have no control over. And that's why there are so many new people that come into the industry every single day. You know, you get new people coming online that have been to a couple of seminars. You get new people going and doing anything that is marketed to a person who is entrepreneurial. And a lot of these people who are going to these events, who are going online looking for this magic pill, have, they think, been burned by somebody. Some of them have been burned, perhaps by somebody, but you know, like, very rarely, it's very rare for people to be burned. Most of the time people burn themselves by not persevering, by not focusing on one course of action. And it's important, I reckon, if you're in that industry and you are working in that industry, to try and figure out where somebody's head is at, you know, if they're willing to persevere, or if they're just all excited and if they're believing this whole magic pill thing. Because if somebody has a tendency to believe all of the magic pill stuff, that can be okay, but often it's not, because if they don't realise there's real work involved, then when the real work comes up, when they get to the point where they've got to put in the real work, they'll be like, I can't do this. Like, for instance, I had a client the other day and I was teaching him how to do search engine optimization, and he was all excited in the beginning. And as soon as I showed him what he had to do, he was like, I can't do that. Can you do it? And he was all excited in the beginning, but then as soon as I showed him the work that was involved, he got all freaked out. And yeah, it's really sad because we could produce results in so many different areas of our lives if we only focused on them. But once you do focus on them, you'll see what I mean, and you'll see that, oh wow, I can produce results with this thing. This thing does work. This thing is amazing. Wow, oh my gosh. And it's that simple, really. It's not complicated. I think a lot of people like to make things complicated as well. So they don't realise how simple things really are. Things are so simple when you just focus on one thing. But if you try and do lots of different things, then life is complicated. But it doesn't need to be. There's no reason for it to be complicated. It can be very simple. So if you want to know the number one way to simplify your life and to just have no confusion and to just have a simple life, focus on one thing. And yes, there will be challenges. There will be work involved in this thing, whatever it is that you want to focus on. But I reckon the more challenges, the more you know you're doing something special. The more you know that what you're doing is absolutely amazing and it's completely worth it. And there aren't always going to be loads of challenges. I mean, obviously, it depends on what you're going after, your life situation, etc., etc., etc. But if you at least focus on one thing, you'll know that there will be less challenges, because it's far more challenging, I reckon, to go through life flitting from one thing to the next, 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 and never having lived the life that you've really wanted. That is far more challenging than the challenge of focusing on one thing, producing a result with it, and then moving on to the next thing, whatever it happens to be. And, you know, it's good to have ideas and it's good to get excited about new things, but make sure that the things that you allow yourself to move on to, that you allow yourself to be distracted into, are directly connected to the thing that you're doing. And even then, make sure it's going to help you to produce the result that you're after, because things can be connected. You know, like you can have an idea about something that you're doing even. That's why it's so important to have a mentor, because if you've got ideas and these ideas are just taking you off in all these different directions and you think they're fantastic and you think they're amazing, that's great, but you need to have somebody who's produced the result that you're after, who's actually aware of all of the pitfalls and all of the things that will make your life easier as well. And then you can make sure that, you know, when you have these ideas, you run them past this mentor, you run them past this person, and then by running them past them, you stop yourself from going off track. And you don't have to find out on your own the hard way, the way most people do. And if you have a mentor, obviously you have to pay them, and obviously they're going to do a job, and obviously you're going to have to listen to what they say. But that is so much easier than going off in lots of different directions. So if you've got a dream, if you've got an idea, if you've got something that you want to do, make sure that it's going to link in with what you're currently doing and enable you to produce results with it. Because, you know, there are so many things that you can do that you can get excited about, but only some of them are going to give you the result that you're truly after. So you've got to figure out what those things are. And I would say that most people who are marketing things online and most people who are marketing things through seminars are extremely genuine in producing a fantastic result. But the way to spot whether it's a real thing or not, I reckon, is by looking at how much they try and market it as a magic pill. I reckon the more somebody tries to make something out to be something magical and something that's just going to instantly, magically transform everything, the more you need to be aware and ask questions. And, you know, worst case scenario, maybe there will be more work involved with that person than there would be with another person. But then why put yourself through that? Why not focus on working with someone who is going to care for you and look after your dream as if it were their own? And there are lots of people like that out there. If you can focus on one thing, then you can appreciate the fact that there is an abundance of people out there to help you to produce the result that you're really after. And for me, that's like competition. But that's a really positive thing. because competition enables you to grow and move forwards and create the results that you're really after. Like,